Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. YakGadget, for all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs. Go to YakGadget.com. Eastport Marina, on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake. For all your lodging, kayaking, and fishing needs, go to eastport.info. Now let's get this show started.
Hey guys, John Rapp here. It's Takeover Tuesday. Let's do this.
Welcome to a special edition of the Rusty Hook Podcast, streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. 1 hour of straight talk regarding tournament news, angler profiles, gear reviews, and more. Now let's get our show started by joining with John Rapp, our host.
All right, hey, it's Tuesday, September 12th. Got a great show lined up here for you. Actually going to use the StreamYard guest part because I haven't done it yet. And so Michael Ridenour of DuBro Fishing is going to jump in with me, the fellow West Virginian and teammate, and he's going to break my cherry as we try to do something new here using this platform. So I'm going to bring him on shortly, but before I do, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, follow to the Rusty Hook Podcast over on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and make sure you go check out our audio platform. It's John Rapp via the Spotify locations. But also make sure you have followed our Paddle and Fin Network pages as well. We've got a noobs page for all the folks that are out there that are new. A lot of information goes there. They do monthly online tournaments to help all of the folks getting into kayak fishing learn more about the sport. Make sure you follow all our different podcasts. We do something daily here at the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. Also, I want to talk about last night, September 11th. We did a great show with the fellow host over on his podcast channel with a friend of his from Florida, Randy Newton. Go look up their Randy's page and take a look and watch the 9/11 special that we did last night. We talked about what we were doing 22 years ago when all that took place. Yeah, Gene Jensen was on, Jason, from Florida. I'm drawing a blank on that name, but he was there with us. But go take a look at Randy's show. I think you enjoy that. But I'm going to bring Michael on now, introduce him to you guys. Michael Ridenour, fellow West Virginia fisherman, been kayak fishing for quite a few years, but he's killing it now with the KBF Challenge Series. Michael, welcome to the show, brother.
How are you, brother?
Good, man. So, hey, just did a little rundown on everything that we're doing, and I want to appreciate and thank you for helping me with today's show. As I mentioned, I'm sure you heard, you are my very first guest using StreamYard. So you broke my cherry, brother. I appreciate that.
Glad to be your first, buddy.
Thanks for being gentle.
I don't know about that. That's yet to be seen. We'll see how it goes.
That's true. That's true. Don't be too rough on me now. Okay, guys. Now we're going to bring it back to a PG setting here. So, Michael and I were talking off screen a little bit about some of the accomplishments that he has achieved up to this date for the KBF Challenge Series. Michael, for all the noobs that are out there and folks that might not be familiar with the Challenge Series that KBF does, would you explain that to them?
So it is a monthly online series, runs from the 1st to the 30th, 31st, whatever the last day of the month is. It's the biggest 5 fish. It's just like a live event, and the fact that they release an identifier every month. and you compete with other anglers in your state for the biggest 5 fish that you can put up for total inches for the month. And there's a point system that goes for that, and I really started to get into that as a way to break into kayak fishing on a bigger scale, and it allows you to really hone in on some of the skills as a new angler wanting to get started and wanting to kind of see what it takes to put up some serious inches. You think that you've got all month, it should be easy to win that, but we've got anglers like Kyle Struther and Jody Queen and Matt Ball that fish these with me, and they're hammers in their own right. So
no doubt. Yeah.
It becomes there's a point there when you get into this that you'll see that you're still catching giant fish, but when you're trying to get that extra half inch or quarter inch or half, whatever it is that you need to maybe pass the guy in front of you, and you're catching 19s and 19 and a half, which was big fish for West Virginia. Finding that 20 sometimes or that 21 can be pretty elusive.
Well, we know. I mean, those 20 smallmouth and those 21-inch largies, they're citation fish. They're
Right.
special for our state. So when you can put up those kind of numbers, I mean, you're doing well. I actually was talking to Kyle, I don't know, not too long ago, and I'm like, man, I think it was just right after he posted a 21-inch largemouth. I'm like, you need to take those pictures and fill out the forms with the West Virginia DNR, send those in and get you some citations, And that's the same for you. I mean, all you have to do is download the form, print off your photo with your board, where it was caught at, verify it, send it in, and you can get some certificates to hang up on that wall. I mean, that's
I
a
don't know
great
how
achievement.
many 21-inch fish I am at this year. My biggest this year was actually caught on September 1st, 22 and a quarter. So it was a nice little
That's a
addition to start the month out.
Oh, I was gonna say that's a special fish from West Virginia. I was fortunate enough to catch one this year. It's my largest uh, bass ever. Unfortunately, unlike you, I wasn't able to get that fish on Tourney X because it ended up costing me $1,400.
Right. Yes,
So
we spoke about that.
yeah, that
It's
hurt my that hurt my
it is
feelings a little
rare,
bit.
but it is a good series for anglers that want to compete, maybe make a little money or get some points to make it to the larger stage at the championships or the national or the Tenvitational. If your points are up there and you fish the Tenvitational, that could be your way into the 10 house, because there's multiple ways to get there, and that's one of the most prestigious awards in kayak fishing. So Jody Queen, a fellow West Virginia, he's been there a few times,
Yeah.
representing our state very, very well.
Yeah,
And
he actually got some of his 10 invitational invites were from the live events where he finished so
yeah,
high.
oh yes, yeah,
So
he's a hammer whether it's live or
oh oh yeah,
online.
oh
It
no
doesn't matter.
doubt. I mean he's the goat. There's no doubt about it. Jody, we love you, buddy.
Yes,
Um, okay, so let's break this down. So for the KBF Challenge Series, so folks will understand, this isn't about live events. It's only the online challenges, and
yes, they
you
go on their
start.
own time, any water in the state, as long as it's public. It can't be private farm pond or anything.
Yeah,
It's got to be a
exactly.
public accessible body of water. You can go on your own time, evenings, weekends, days, whatever, as many days as you want or as few days as you want. And you submit to the Fishing Chaos app. It's not run through Tourney X, it's run through Fishing Chaos.
Right.
You go on there, it's very easy to set up, very user friendly app. Just set up your profile and you can join the monthlies for your state right through the application itself. And you can submit 30 fish, it will automatically sort those out and keep your biggest 5,
There you go.
and you'll be calculated in with the rest of the anglers in your state doing that, and those are
So,
points.
so does it start in March or April?
So there was a change. Chad did a live just a few days ago. They did run consecutively every month, 12 months out of
Right.
the year. That stopped. So the last month for each year is September because the championship's in October. But you
Exactly.
can still fish October through September the following year. That's kind of how the year run. But he did change that up moving forward. It looks like they're going to kick off in 2024 in February.
Okay.
And it'll go from February to September. He feels that gives anglers a little bit of a break to holidays,
Right.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, deer season, all those other things that's going on in the fall, and gives everybody kind of a fair playing field to bring that back from February to September. So they count your best 4 events. So you could fish February to September, and they will only count your best 4. So if you had a bad
So,
month or there, it doesn't count against you.
so if your best 4 events, do they have like a point system for each event? Or the
They do.
highest of,
So it's 600 points per event, 2,400 points total. And then there's some weekend challenges and some other things they do that's in coordination with that. And then
right.
it steps down from that 600, second place be 594, 6-point increments as the step
Okay.
down. And that's how that goes. So if there's 20 anglers in, obviously you'll get points wherever you fall in that top 20.
So to be invited, now I haven't really been involved with the KBF Challenge Series since like 2017, and I actually got invited to go to uh, Louisiana. That's when me and Eric Cormack went. But um, back then it was they took the top 100 from the Challenge Series to fish the fish
So
off. They still do
there's
something similar, or
it's still similar. There was a little bit of changes last year where it was almost open. But it's the top 25% of the state or of the nation, depending on where that falls. Obviously, if you are in the top 25 of the nation, you're probably in the top 25 of your state too. But some guys travel or may work in multiple states, and they may do a monthly here while they're in this state and a monthly over here in this state.
right?
Those consecutively go as a total points for the national AOY points. So you can
So
fish
so
multiple states.
you get to keep 4 of your best events. You can keep 3 of West Virginia and 1 Pennsylvania if you want to,
Correct.
or 2 and 2. Okay,
Yeah.
hey, that makes sense. I mean, heck yeah, definitely makes sense.
So guys
So
that are doing like I'm probably going to do for the Dale Hollow event next year.
yeah,
I didn't know how that event would go, and I wish I would have signed up for the Tennessee monthly and Kentucky monthly for Dale Hollow because it was a great week. But
yeah, you
I'll
had a
probably
hell of a year
yeah.
down there. I mean, you're that 22-inch smallmouth. My God, that would have been a great fish to put on there.
Oh yes.
Hey, so guys, what he's talking about here with the KBF Challenge Series, if you're just coming on, is the point system and how it works. So just a rundown, the best 4 months is what they calculate at 600 points per hour. Now, at currently, you and Kyle are tied for the state lead for September, correct?
That's we are tied for the state for the year.
For the year? Okay.
September will break that. Whichever one of us wins this month will take the KBF Challenge State AOI.
So, and I know right now you're sitting over 100 inches right now, aren't you,
Yes,
for
100 and a
September?
quarter inches right now.
What do we know where Kyle's sitting at?
I don't. I know he's been out fishing. I've talked to him,
Is
and
he sandbagging? Is he sandbagging?
he's sandbagging a little bit. But I let him know I'm not done. That 100's not my stopping point. So
I gotta love you. Gotta love Kyle, man. He's awesome. Um, so okay, but right now for the national championship for the challenge series, you're tied for first place.
I am. John Long from Virginia and I are leading the nation right now we are both tied for first place.
And now, and then you got, see, John, somebody's 14 points from you,
Yep.
behind you in third. Do you know if those guys plan on traveling to the national event?
Uh, One of them I do. It's still too early to tell. There's, I believe, 27 anglers signed up so far for the championship on Gunnersville and Wheeler in Alabama. That's where it's held this year, and that's where the nationals will also be held in the spring, in April, Mayish. But in conjunction with the Challenge and Trail Series championships on Gunner and Wheeler, while we're down there, the 10 folks that qualify for the 10 Invitational will also fish that for their chance at the 10 house. So we're qualified for that, so we'll fish that as well. And I'm not sure. I know Kyle's planning on doing the Maryland State he's made it into that to see if he can get to the Kayak Bassmaster Classic.
Right.
It runs in conjunction with the ending of the KBF Championship, and I don't know if he's going to make the trip to Gunnersville and Wheeler and try to fish and just make a run back to Maryland, or if he's just going to sit the Gunnersville event out. I'm not sure, but
Well,
I'll
I know
definitely be in Gunnersville.
yeah, if they do anything like they did this year, we were down there in March, I think, uh, for the KBF Challenge Cup. I don't know if Chad will incorporate more of those things together like he's done with other events or not, and try. But Gunnersville's a huge body of water. He could do quite a few different things down there. It'd be interesting to see how he does it. Um, yeah, man, that's great. Well, hey, we've been hammering it here for about 18 minutes. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll continue talking about more about the KBF Challenge Series, and then um, maybe we'll talk a little bit about fall fishing. Stand by.
ZPRO Lithium, serious power in 12, 24, and 36 volt applications. Bluetooth capable. Go to ZPRO Lithium for more. DuBro Fishing, American-made marine applications and locally manufactured soft plastics. Visit DuBroFishing.com. Feelfree Kayaks, paddle, pedal, or power. There's something for everyone. Check out feelfreeus.com. YakGadget, American-made kayak fishing accessories and gear. Go to yakgadget.com for your rigging needs. Ace Adventure Resort, West Virginia's #1 destination for hiking, biking, ziplining, whitewater rafting, and more. Check out aceraft.com. Westbrook Supply Company, Georgia's premium supplier for all your kayak rigging supplies and fishing equipment. Go visit westbrooksupply.com.
Hey, John Rapp here, back with my guest, Michael Ridenour. We'll bring him back on here in just a second. Just want to go over, you just watched a few of these sponsors that I work with personally or with the Rusty Hook podcast. And I just want to thank each and every one of you that got involved with the Jay Harmon benefit tournament that we just recently did. Jay is suffering with the shoot. It's got the Michael J. Fox disease. I'm drawing a blank on it right now, but um, anyway, all of 2/3 of those companies right there stepped up, provided contributions to the event to make that event successful. Joshua Booth, who ran the event over at Moyak, actually did an outstanding job, and we were able to raise over $6,800. Next Saturday at 4 p.m. on the Moyak channel, they're going to do a presentation to reward and award the final contributions to Jay, so he will be able to purchase that electric wheelchair. It's Parkinson's disease is what he's got, and his doctor recently told Jay that he's not able to, does not recommend Jay to fish anymore out of his kayak, where his disease has progressed so bad he feels it's not safe. Hopefully Jay can still be able to get out on a pontoon boat or something and enjoy the sport that he loves with friends. But kayak fishing is pretty much, in his rearview mirror in the near future. So anyway, thanks again, guys. I appreciate that. I'm gonna bring Michael back onto the show, and we're gonna continue to talk more about the KBF Challenge Series. Welcome back, brother.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me today, too.
No, man, I appreciate you taking time from your mechanic duties with your son and to come in, come over and jump on the Rusty Hook and talk a little bit about your accomplishments so far with the Challenge Series. And we're pulling for you. We love Kyle. We love him. We hope that he does well. But we got to pull for you to win that national. So it may mean that you need to win the state to pad your
It's
stats there a little bit.
it's going to happen. I feel this is my third year, and the amount of learning and growth that I've experienced just over that 3 years, time on water is really a huge, huge benefit. And those of you that know me, I spend a lot of time on the water, and I've been truly blessed to career-wise to be able to have a career that allows me to spend not quite unlimited days, but it's not far from it.
Well, that career now, brother, that career is something that you jumped off a cliff to
Yes.
earn, and you deserve what you've worked for. And we haven't talked a whole lot since June, since we've seen each other, but I know you've been quite successful with your work. You've talked about being a trophy sponsor for some clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just want
obviously,
to give back to the community that gives to me, and I fell in love with this sport and the friends made along the way, and to be able to help even a little bit. It's just a scratch on the surface, but I just want to give back to the sport that gives to me. And uh, for anybody that's on the fence about getting into kayak fishing, whether it's tournaments or just to go out and do it, if you're on the fence, borrow a kayak. You can reach out to me on Facebook. If you're in the PA, West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland area, I travel quite a bit. I'd be glad to go out with you for a day, let you use the kayak. There's just something about it.
and I got to tell you folks out there, he's in one of the most stable boats that you can buy, one of them big old uh,
Native
native.
Titan, and
Yeah,
my new Titan X should be here in about a week and a half. I'm excited for that one. So
outstanding, man.
it's good. But yeah, anybody that's on the fence, give it a shot. It's unreal, just the friendships though that are made through the sport, and the passion and love that so many of us across the country, and those of us that have had boats, and I've had boats, and just never fell in love with the sport quite like I have from a kayak. So
Hey, I have to agree with you there. It's more of a tight knit. It's more friendly competition than any type of competition. And on top of that, I mean, you know as well as I do, we went to Dale Hollow for a week, and although there was a 2-day tournament at the end of that week, it didn't feel like a tournament. I mean, it
no,
felt like
it did.
just, we were just out fishing and doing our best that we could to catch big fish. And if you did well, you did well. If you didn't, you shook the hand of the guy that did, said, "Hey, great job."
Oh
It
yeah,
was,
100%. And I
um,
feel like not just that event. That's the way it is. And I mean, obviously, everybody fishes these. They want to win, and I'm as competitive as the next guy. I obviously want to win, but at the same time, I don't want to see somebody else fail either. If they beat me, I'm the first to cheer them on and clap. And I mean, it's 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 different. It is. It's different than the boat world, and it's a tighter knit group, and it's more of a brotherhood or sisterhood of sorts, and a family event across multiple clubs. So
well, that's what I like. What like exactly where you're coming from. There is that there is no failure in kayak fishing, especially when we never fish against each other. We may be signed up for a tournament, but what we're fishing against is the fish.
yeah, that's
you
right.
know, so if you went out and you caught fish, outstanding. If I went out and I struggled, then I failed to figure out what them boogers wanted, what
Right.
they wanted to bite.
The fish
And
beat you. I didn't beat you.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And so, and that's the great thing about the people that we have that we fish with in the West Virginia area is, and Jody Queen is a prime example. Matt Ball, your relative, is another great example. Is that those guys? They'll say, "Hey, are you fishing with this?
Oh yeah.
Are you throwing this lure, this bait? Are you throwing it like this? Are you working it in this way down the river or down the current versus up the current or sideways to the current? Try this technique. You may be more successful." They'll
I've
share.
always been very open about what I use to catch my fish, and I know some people probably think I'm giving them the flip and telling them something I'm not using. But if I tell you what I'm using, that's what I'm truly using. I want to see other people catch fish. Uh, if I win, I don't want it to be because uh, somebody was struggling or I allowed somebody to struggle. I mean, if we're fishing an area and or pre-fishing, they say, would you catch them on? I tell them. I have no. I mean, I feel like the competition's better that way. I want to see everybody. I want to see a tight race. I don't want to see just one person run away with it. And sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes those fish they beat a lot of us. So
Well, it's funny because you can say I'm throwing. I got me some stuff that came in the mail today. Ordered some stuff, frogs from Huddleston Deluxe. You know, and I could give you that frog and say, "Hey, throw that." But you may have a medium heavy with 12-pound test line, and I may have a medium light with 8-pound test line, throwing it on a 2-aught hook, and you're throwing it on a 4-aught hook, and I'm catching 25 to your 5.
right.
So I mean, technique and methods can be, and hooks and line and everything can change the game. So it's exactly back to the point that you're making. You can throw the same thing, but
But yeah, I mean, Dale Hollow, I wore 2 buzz baits completely out. I mean, wore them out, skirts falling off of them. And I told him I was fishing buzz bait, and I'd have guys come up and be like, "I fished buzz bait, ain't catching nothing." I don't know.
retrieve speed.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
I mean,
variation and cadence, and there's so
yeah,
much that goes into it. And I feel like that's part of the fun of this sport is putting all of that puzzle together and having the camaraderie of the people that we're with at the end of that event for the gathering or the award ceremony or even the pre-fishing. And
yeah.
it's our state clubs do a very good job of bringing everybody together for those awards, and a lot of other clubs do as well. The KBF, the Paddle and Fin Dale Hollow event, and that, as long as they have that event, I'll go back. That's probably the most laid back big tournament I've ever seen.
Right. And
And
that's the goal. We always shoot for that. I mean, guys, the Paddle and Fin podcast 2024 event is already listed up on TourneyX. It's scheduled, I believe, for April 22nd and 23rd of 2024. It is at the Eastport Marina locations where we're doing it. All of our awards presentation and things like that will be at the farm, which is just about a 10-minute drive from the marina. And you're not, and Michael can attest, is that the guys that
East,
stay at the houseboats, I
Eastport
mean,
Marina is, those guys go above and beyond. And the houseboats, when John told me I'd be on a houseboat down there, I didn't really know exactly what to expect. These aren't some little houseboat. I mean, these things are 40+ foot long with a hot tub and a slide off the top. I mean,
yeah,
they're giant multiple room hot tubs right on the water. And they have cabins and stuff as well, and a
yep,
restaurant right there, and a little kayak shop there as well. If you need something or have something break, I had some issues down there and had some stuff overnighted. They picked it up. I sent it right there to them. They go above and beyond. They just have in the farm, the venue for the award ceremony. That place is just spectacular. So
yeah, it's off the hook. And then this year they even had fireworks for it. It was pretty
nice.
awesome. Yeah, so. All
But
right, man. So, hey, let's change gears. We
yeah,
know that you're you're kicking rear end and taking names at the KBF Challenge Series, but it's now September 12th. Those days are getting shorter. The nights are cooling off. Techniques have to evolve. Um,
They have. Well, here in West Virginia anyway, the fall transition is, I started noticing a change probably the last week of August, actually, to them starting to move a little bit, changing kind of their bite pattern a little bit. Places that I know hold fish all summer long, I could go to and catch fish. Those fish are gone. I've hit some of those spots multiple times, and it's not that they're gone; they're out chasing bait. You'll catch a random fish over here, top water. You might be in 40 foot of water, and you'll see a little blow up or ripple and throw a spook to it, and next thing you know, you've got a 19 and a half on the line. They're just random all over the place chasing bait fish. Bait fish is the name of the game right now for the fall transition. I am finding some sticking close to grass that wasn't really in grass. I mean, you can find an isolated 6-inch pass of weed somewhere that you just happen to be going by and drop a wacky worm in it. I did that
yeah,
the other day and actually pulled 2 fish off of just this little tiny clump of grass I happened to be passing, didn't even know it was there. So they're just random right now, and the fall transition's underway. And with the cooler nights coming this week, I imagine it's really going to kick those fish that are still kind of in that summer pattern. With the cooler nights, I think we're getting down in the 40s this week a few times, and new
yeah,
moon coming. So there's a lot of things happening right now that's really going to kick that fall transition, that fall feed on, and we're going to start seeing some heavier bags and heavier fish caught. Big girls getting that weight on for the winter time. So they're
yeah,
chasing bait and eating up right now. So it's a good time to be on the water, top water buzz baits and moving baits and whopper cloppers. And if top water is your thing, it's now's the time to be on the water if that's your thing. So
that's one of the reasons I ordered these babies, is trying to get them in as fast as I can so I can get out there. But I figured the frog bites going to be on for about the next 3 weeks, and then it'll
oh yeah,
start dying down a little bit. So, all
grass is
right.
starting to die. Some of it is already starting to die. I was in a back pocket of stone coal.
I
That
love that lake. Man, I love
always
that lake.
holds fish and has some grass, and they were gone. There wasn't a fish in it, and the grass was brown. And one, I think they were chasing bait, but two, I think once that grass dies, they're looking for. It just starts pulling that oxygen, and they abandon it. So there's
Yep.
definitely a move, and now's a good time to get on the water before hunting season gets here, and it really starts turning too cold, and they start shutting down, and they're feeding up. There's some big fish chewing right now.
Yeah, I was looking at my Facebook feed. You know how it has that memories, and I had one of the largest fish I ever caught before I got into kayak fishing out of a pond crawler. And it was 12 or 13 years ago. I think it was 12 years ago. Um, but I caught like a 22-inch largemouth, and and the only reason it's probably more like a 21 because I had the mouth open and I was measuring it with a like a an oar. It has that where it
Oh
has
yeah,
this, and so I just held it up there like that. But it was
that's
over.
still a big fish.
It was a horse. It was a beautiful fish. Caught it with my son. We were out fishing, and yeah, it was a great fish. Probably one of my top five of my life. But it was a September 11th fish, and crazy. So
Yeah, they're starting to put on a little weight and get a little bigger, and they're hungry right now. That's always a plus.
well, and I caught it on one of those Magnum trick worms. So it wasn't a
Oh yeah.
Senko, wasn't a small bait. It was one of the bigger trick worms. Threw it right along the edge of some brush on the bank, and she pounded it.
You got any tournaments coming up this fall, or are you just going to hit the water for fun? What's your plan, Sean?
Well, I don't know, man. I've been invited to go up to Susquehanna for that event with Jerry and Kyle. They got a house.
Yep.
Uh, But I at this point right now, I haven't confirmed that I can go. My actually, I'm supposed to go up and see Brian and Brian at DuBro headquarters with Matt sometime in October. Then I'm supposed to go to ZPRO in Texas as well, either in October, November, or early December.
Nice.
Um,
Give
do a
Brian a
little.
hard time for me when you get up there.
You know we will, man. You know we will. So
And
yeah.
if you can make the Husky event, that it'd be great to see you up there. I'll be up there for that as well. That's
Okay.
the glass championship up, I believe Lewisburg, PA, for the
Yeah.
Susquehanna.
Yeah.
And
It's October 6th, didn't it? I think
7th, yeah, 6th,
7th,
7th,
6th.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah. That actually that was one of the times that we were looking at going up to Illinois for DuBro, but we haven't confirmed anything on that right now. So
Well, definitely give Brian a hard time for me, and hopefully we'll get to see you out on the water. I've got obviously the WVK and SWVK championships are coming. SWVK is this coming weekend, WVK the following weekend. Knock those out, find out. That'll narrow down officially. Mountain State just had theirs. Congratulations to Mark, and he took Angler of the Year through them, and all the top finishers for that championship, and find out who's going to the best of the best, and we'll get that out of the way here. So
yeah,
busy
I
few weeks for me.
that's going to be, and that'll be a great time. And the good thing is that there'll be two or three or probably a half dozen people that will be traveling right down there along with you, and it's some type of train that you guys can go together, hopefully,
Oh
catching
yeah,
people.
we I've got an event every single weekend, 2 day mostly, every single weekend all the way through to the KBF championship. So busy time trying to get my new boat in and get it outfitted to get it on the road for. I'd really like to have it really by the Susky event, but if not, definitely for the KBF event and best of the best. So
I saw that kayak when I was at ICAST. It's a really nice, sweet setup. How do you plan on rigging it?
so I've got a Torpedo currently. Love it. I am going to move the Torpedo over to a designated rivercraft, I believe, and I'm going with a Motor Guide XI5 trolling spot lock on the front of this one instead
Okay.
of having the Torpedo. My goal this year was I was always a shallow fisherman and a power fisherman, and uh, I really struggled with offshore fish, ledge fishing, and offshore deep fish, and I made it a point this year to focus on that, and still have a lot to learn in that aspect. But I have gained a lot of confidence. I've caught a lot of offshore fish and a lot of really good fish offshore. So I find myself more and more not really thrown to the bank and being out there looking for those ledges and those humps and grass lines out deep and catching those fish because they seem to be a little better quality. And this boat's going to be set up more for lakes and that offshore stuff and some of my bigger stuff, and then I'll be running my Torpedo on my Suskies and my riverboat, and it excels at that and has the power to push up through the New River and Whitewater, and it really excels at that. But it's not the greatest when you're out offshore and the wind blowing you around, and it doesn't really help with that. So other than that, I don't know. I'm going to obviously it'll be Yak Attack, and it'll be full of all the Kistler goodies and the bro baits. You know what I throw. And
Oh yeah, baby.
few
Hey, I
guys
tell you what, man, that average Joe series that we've worked out is really kicking it well. Um, I caught a nice fish on that. Actually, I think I had the video of it just a couple weeks ago. I was out there smashing them with that PB&J uh, test worm that we had put together, and man, now Brian just they posted, as everybody's seen. If you're not familiar with DuBro Fishing, go check them out. The Average Joe
oh yeah.
series, great baits, and they just got all their plastic done, and everything is poured and up on the websites.
The action and durability, it's unmatched. It really is. And
Yeah,
I was skeptical. You know, you hear a lot of people, you know, try my baits. They're better. They're better. And Brian gave me some of those Dale Hollow, and I took them out. And I come back, I was like, listen, how do I buy these things? Like,
yeah.
it's and I've been using them religiously ever since. They work.
Well, I mean, and as you know, you got the inside scoop. Everything is made right there in
Yeah,
Chicago area. Even their plastic that they
USA
have a
made
yeah,
and durable and great action. And yeah, you guys got it figured out over there. So keep up the great
yeah,
work. And I hope Ryan and those guys over at DuBro and Dewey keep doing their thing, because you
yeah.
know I expect those to work in Gunnersville. So you know,
Oh yeah, they will. They will, no doubt. Hey man, we've been filming for about 42 minutes. We'll start wrapping up. If any
yep,
final thoughts or any wisdom that you want to impart out, and let me touch base on that because I was thinking about it earlier. But guys, all you new fishermen out there that are getting into the kayak fishing world, uh, online challenges are a great way for you to practice and learn and get feedback from tournament directors on what you're doing wrong, what you're doing. And because if you're doing something and you're doing it wrong, you'll get that email on how to close the mouth, how to do things. That way, when you go and fish a live event, the learning curve is much, much smaller.
yes. Yeah, I think I encourage everybody, I guess, in final thoughts to take a look at online events. A lot of state clubs, all of our state clubs have some monthly online events. I'm sure some other state clubs do as well. Look in the KBF obviously has their challenge series, and they run a river series and a smallmouth series. All those are online. It's a smallmouth only, or if river's your thing, they run a KBF river series. And then you can kind of get into the niche and compete against other anglers that are at the skill sets that maybe you feel like you're at. And it's a great way to learn and a great way to do it on your own time. There's a lot of people, a lot of busy schedules, and the economy's not getting any better. So it allows you to travel maybe to a river right down the road from your house, or you can go as far away as you want. But it's a great
Yep.
way to get into the sport and check those out. And you can reach out to me, hit me up any questions you have on Facebook or Instagram. YakFish365 on Instagram, or Michael Ridenour on Facebook, and I'll answer any questions you have. So
Well, when this show goes up here later tonight, and this is pre-recorded, of course, folks, make sure you take a moment, Michael, and throw your stuff out in the comments if they have any questions or want to reach out
okay.
to you for advice or something. But man, we appreciate you taking a few moments to join us. God bless you, and I hope that the 45 minutes that we've been online gave you a little reprieve from your son out there working on the vehicle.
Yeah, I appreciate it, buddy, and it's great seeing you. Have safe travels wherever you invest to
Likewise.
go this fall, and God bless you all. And I'll see you on the water soon, buddy.
Yeah. I'll see you. I guess here in a few weeks over at Sutton for the
Yeah,
2-day Westbrook
I'll be there.
WBKA championship. So, all right, brother. Be
All right
blessed.
then.
Appreciate you. All right.
Yep. Bye.
All right. That, my friends, was Mikey Ridenour. Appreciate him spending a few moments with me here online and talking all about the KBF Challenge for the challenge events that KBF does. Chad Hoover and them run at KBF. So we wish him well, and him and Kyle. Wish Kyle well. As he's done a fabulous job this year representing Feelfree Kayaks and himself and all the other sponsors that he has at the challenge series. Uh, but wish everybody safety on the water. Again, as I always preach when I talk on my events, is that when you go fishing, uh, always practice safety. Although we're going out to enjoy and decompress and spend time on the water, make sure you get back to your loved ones. So always wear your PFD. Um, if you're fishing somewhere, make sure you let your loved one know your travel time to and your travel time back. That way they can know when you're leaving and have it sort of an expectation when you should be returning. use your cell phone. If you have Life 360, make sure it's activated so people can find you, or that Find My iPhone feature that you have. Either that, I don't know anything about the Google. I'm sure they have something similar. But make sure that's active for someone, loved one, that they can try to know where you're at. Anyway, this is John Rapp from Let's Jig Podcast. Wishing you the best. Y'all stay safe, and we will see you on the flip side.